The man arrived at a murder house buzzing with excitement. Where there's death, that's where he works. A homicide happened here yesterday. Cleaning up death scenes is Tom's job. First, he switched on a recorder. He described the sanitary condition of the scene as he worked. At the same time, he documented everything with a camera. That's one of the required procedures. It's also a bit of fun for Tom, a retired detective. It only took him one morning. Tom restored the place to spotless condition. But this seemingly ordinary job order was hiding a massive conspiracy. The next day, Tom came back again. He had forgotten to put the key back where it belonged. He didn't expect someone to move in so quickly. Their faces were full of joy. They didn't look like people who had just lived through a murder. Tom cautiously asked a few questions. The woman in front of him claimed she was the homeowner. She said she had just returned from out of town today. She had no idea about the cleaning yesterday, let alone the murder that happened the day before. But the information on the work order was correct. Tom sensed something was off. He pretended he had the wrong house and left. Then he called the station to verify the case, but the system showed no record of the case code. The order had been issued by a Detective Jones. Turns out no such person existed in the department. Now Tom was completely panicked. Had he just cleaned up for a killer? Thinking that, he quickly hid all the paperwork. If that were true, he'd be an accomplice. A day later, Tom saw news that the homeowner was missing. That made his suspicion feel even more real. Tom asked a former colleague to meet that night to catch up. In truth, he wanted inside info on the case. That night they met up. Eddie complained the department was a total mess lately, all because the police chief was under investigation for corruption. Many officers had taken early retirement, leaving them short-staffed. Just then, the TV aired another report about the homeowner's disappearance. Tom took the chance to ask Eddie about the case details. Eddie joked the guy probably just wanted to ditch his wife. Right then, they ran into another former colleague, Nick. Nick's homicide unit had taken over the case. Publicly, they called it a disappearance to keep the media off their backs. But homicide had already listed a batch of suspects. Eddie also knew some insider gossip. The missing man's name was Mike. He had dealings with the police chief. Rumor had it he'd cut a deal with the prosecutor. He was set to testify about the chief's corruption. It was just hearsay. But right after the court seated the jury, Mike vanished. What are the odds of that kind of coincidence? The next day, an unexpected visitor came to Tom's company. It was Mike's wife, Anna. She believed Tom definitely hadn't gone to the wrong house that day. She also knew his job was cleaning crime scenes. She was convinced Tom had something to do with Mike's disappearance.
The day after my husband disappears, a crime scene cleaner shows up at my door talking about a job he did at my house. What am I supposed to think about that?
So what was the real truth behind all this? Follow me to see what happens next.